Hello everyone, my name is Nur Fatin Ilya binti Abdul Talib. My matric number is 22302881. Today, I will be presenting my research for AUP397 Management Studies. The title of my research is The Effect of Cashless Payment Usage on Personal Budgeting Behavior Among Young Adults in Malaysia. This study focuses on how the use of cashless payment methods such as e-wallets, online banking, debit cards, and credit cards may influence the way young adults manage their personal budget. For the introduction, cashless payments have become increasingly common in Malaysia. Many people now use e-wallets, online banking, debit cards, credit cards, and QR payment in their daily lives. Young adults are one of the most active groups using digital payment technologies because they are familiar with smartphones, online shopping, and mobile applications. However, there is an issue. Although cashless payment is convenient and fast, it may reduce awareness of spending because people do not physically see their money being used. This can lead to impulsive spending. At the same time, cashless payment can also help users monitor their expenses because most digital payment platforms provide transaction records. Therefore, this study focuses on four main factors, which are cashless payment usage, spending control, expense tracking, and financial disciplines. These factors are tested to see how they influence personal budgeting behavior among young adults in Malaysia. This slide presents the research objectives and research question of the study. The first objective is to determine the effect of cashless payment usage on personal budgeting behavior among young adults in Malaysia. The second objective is to examine the effect of spending control on personal budgeting behavior, while the third objective is to determine the effect of expense tracking on personal budgeting behavior. And last but not least, the fourth one is to examine the effect of financial discipline on personal budgeting behavior. And based on these objectives, the study also developed four research questions. The main purpose is to identify whether each factor significantly affects personal budgeting behavior. These objectives and questions guide the statistical analysis and hypothesis testing in this study. For the methodology, the study uses a quantitative cross-sectional research design. This means the data was collected at one point in time and analyzed using statistical methods. Their target population is Malaysia young adults aged between 18 and 35 years old who actively use cashless payment methods. This study uses purposive sampling because the respondents must meet specific criteria, which are being young adults and users of cashless payment. A total of 200 respondents were collected for this study. The research instrument used is a structured questionnaire. The questionnaire is divided into two sections. Section A focuses on demographic information, while Section B focuses on the main research variables. The measurement scale used is a 5-point Likert scale, from 1, which means strongly disagree, to 5, which means strongly agree. The data was analyzed using SPSS version 29. The analysis includes descriptive statistic, reliability analysis, Pearson correlation, and multiple regression. The independent variables in this study are cashless payment usage, spending control, expense tracking, and financial discipline. And the dependent variable is personal budgeting behavior. From the sample profile, most respondents are female with 59%, and the largest age group is 23 to 27 years old with 37%. For preferred payment method, e-wallet is the most used cashless payment method with 51%. This slide shows the key findings of the study. Based on the multiple regression analysis, all four independent variables significantly influence personal budgeting behavior. The strongest predictors is financial discipline with a beta value of 0.347 and a p-value less than 0.001. This means financial discipline has the strongest effect on personal budgeting behavior. The second strongest predictor is spending control with a beta value of 0.293. This is followed by expense tracking with a beta value of 0.228. Cashless payment usage also has a significant effect with a beta value of 0.176. The R-square value is 0.707. This means that 70.7% of the variance in personal budgeting behavior can be explained by the four independent variables in this study. The regression model is also significant with an F-value of 118.451 and a p-value less than 0.001. For the correlation result, financial discipline shows the stronger correlation with personal budgeting behavior with an R-value of 0.771. Lastly, the user trend shows that e-wallet is the most preferred cashless payment method among respondents with 51%. Next is the summary of result. This slide presents the hypothesis testing results. For H1, cashless payment usage significantly affects personal budgeting behavior with a p-value of 0.002, therefore H1 is supported. For H2, spending control significantly affects personal budgeting behavior with a p-value less than 0.001, therefore H2 is supported. For H3, expense tracking significantly affects personal budgeting behavior with a p-value less than 0.001, therefore H3 is supported. For H4, financial discipline significantly affects personal budgeting behavior with a p-value less than 0.001, therefore H4 is also supported. Overall, all four hypotheses are supported. This means that cashless payment usage, spending control, expense tracking, and financial discipline all play important roles in influencing personal budgeting behavior among young adults in Malaysia. And lastly, discussion and conclusion. For the discussion, the finding shows that financial discipline and spending control are the most important factors in improving personal budgeting behavior. This means young adults who are more disciplined with their finances are more likely to plan their budget, control their spending, and avoid unnecessary expenses. The findings also shows that expense tracking is important. When young adults regularly check their transaction records, they can better understand their spending patterns and manage their budget more effectively. Although cashless payment usage has the lowest beta value compared to the other variables, it is still significant. This means cashless payment does influence budgeting behavior, but the effect depends on how responsibly users manage their spending. For practical implication, young adults should use cashless payment tools responsibly by setting spending limit, checking transaction records, and maintaining financial discipline. Financial institutions and e-wallet providers can also support users by providing better budgeting tools, spending alert, and clearer transaction summaries. Policymakers and universities should also strengthen financial literacy programs to help young adults improve their money management skills. In conclusion, this study found that cashless payment usage, spending control, expense tracking, and financial discipline significantly influence personal budgeting behavior among young adults in Malaysia. That's all from me. Thank you.